Hello there and welcome. This will be a ride in Indiana, in Clarksville, off of the Ohio River Greenway. Because I think I've done videos going through some of these areas before, but I'm going to go through a different part of it today. So we're on the Greenway, which is a elevated, well, at least in this section, it's an elevated pedestrian / cycling path. And there's other parts where it's flat, but it is fully separated throughout from vehicular traffic, aside from this little part that I'm about to go on right now. Yeah, because if you keep going down through there, over to the left, that will continue on that branch of the path. And then this is part where you have to go down a road that is a shared road. So you have markings on the road that you can cycle and to share the road, in addition to cars going through here from these surrounding neighborhoods. But this is really the only part I can remember that doesn't have a separated lane that's not on the road, so you can safely travel without having to worry about getting ran over by a car. And now we're past that part, so we're back on the cycling, walking, running, jogging only portion. I don't anticipate this being very busy because it is a Saturday evening. It is getting close to sunset, and if you're on, if you're walking, not so much, but on riding this bike, it is a little bit chilly. So I'm wearing a jacket, but maybe should have worn a heavier jacket. I'm just going through a section of this that I don't think I've ever recorded before. Then nice creek stuff over to the left. Because over all these trees, if you go into the left is the Ohio River. And this is the Levee Trail. I don't know where I think that's the Discovery Trail. There's a deer down there. Probably can't see it. Well, it's not exactly surprising to see deer off of these kind of trails, because there's a lot of wooded area and natural habitat. Hoping to get through here and then get back before it gets dark and colder. Yeah, if you're in the region and you want to go cycling or running or jogging or what have you, go on an e-bike ride, etc. This is a nice option because it's, relatively new, or it's newer, and it's pretty well kept up. So, it's not, I've done some videos I went along the trails on the Kentucky side that go by the Ohio River, and then go down through the area, and those are a little bit less kept up, a little bit older. They kind of go through like the Portland region. So these are a little bit newer, a little bit cleaner, a little bit more modern. And like I said, aside from this specific Levee Trail path, where you have to go down that one small section of street that's shared with cars, it's all separated out on the road, or it's all separated from the road, so you're not having to crisscross with car traffic. Now I do have to cross the street here. You can push a button to make, oh, it makes lights go off to better illuminate to cars that there's a person or a bike. This all does go behind some people's backyards too, so I'd be curious to know if that's a net positive or negative for the residents. Positive in that you can just walk a little bit from your house and you've got a trail, or ride a bike just a little bit, you got a trail. Negative side, you have people rolling through conceivably at all hours of the night, although I'm not sure how heavily these trails are used after dark. They have all these lamps here, street lamps, or they're not on the street, but these lights, and I would assume these all turn on at a certain point. It looks like they're LEDs to illuminate this path to go through at nighttime. But as with any of these types of trails or parks, probably would not recommend going through on foot alone by yourself at night in the dark. I mean, there are probably plenty of people who do training and stuff that are fine. I just know that I usually try not to go to places when I'm walking or running at night that have big isolated patches that could be dangerous. Coming up to, let's see, what is this, Eastern Boulevard? Well, and oh, there's lights in the ground that light up, which is cool. I'm not sure if the GoPro captured that, but in the street there were LED lights as well that flash when the cross signal's on. But right before I went through, the car that blew through the red light, that's why you want to wait and see to make sure nobody's going through before you enter crossing lanes. I mean, it's pretty common sense. I'm sure most people know that. I've just seen a lot of videos where people get really upset about having the legal right-of-way in something. It's like, yeah, you can have the legal right-of-way and still get ran over. I'd rather just be cautious and not have to worry about it. And they have cameras along these trails pretty frequently, so there should be some measure of security. So maybe it would be safer to go through here at night than a lot of other paths. You have these nice lamps. The last time I had come down through this path, there were huge amounts of gnats and small bugs that would coat you as you rode through them. Luckily, that is not the case today. I guess because it's getting cooler. When I went the other day, it was a little bit warmer. It is funny, there are so many parks that are small little parks and recreation areas that fork off of these trails. Because over to the right, there's some little reservoir of water or something There's a park over there that has some amenities. Let's see, we'll go check that out. That's Ray Lawrence Park. They have some tennis courts, basketball goals, a little covered picnic area, some playground equipment for kids, and a porta potty. Yes, that's the Ray Lawrence Park, and along this levee trail earlier there was another small park off to the side as well. It had playground equipment and such. So I'll turn my headlights on. And I have an extra light too, because the headlight on this thing isn't the brightest. This is a Super73 S1 e-bike. So I have a shred light that's connected to it on the handlebars to add some supplemental additional lighting. And then on the helmet that I'm wearing, I have a shred light as well. It is facing in the rear direction, so facing behind me, and it is a red light, which just helps it be easier for people to see me at nighttime if they're behind and approaching. Because one thing that you can never spend too much money on, well, maybe you can, but having proper lighting on your bike, e-bike, personal electrical vehicle, etc. It's important to have that if you're going to ride at nighttime. Now all these lamps are on, so we get to see what these looks like. That's pretty cool. So this is pretty bright. Practicing some skateboarding tricks. It's starting to get dusk. You can see the sun going down. It is currently 7:04 p.m. and that is usually within a few minutes, give or take, of sunset these days. Through here, and this time I'm trying to see if I can get a better angle of these lamps that are in the road for the cross signal.
Wait.
So I'll tilt that down some. Yeah, so there's lights in the road, which is pretty cool. Put this back. This is another park over here. Has basketball court, some swings, playground equipment, covered picnic area. And that is the Beechwood Park. And I'm just gonna roll through here at high speed because I'm ready to go home. Because I've been doing a bit of riding before I started recording. Hopefully the wind's not too loud. There's American Shooters, some type of shooting range or gun store or something, not really sure. Street lamps that go through here are pretty nifty. Like I said, this area, it doesn't have the fancy lights in the road. It just has, I don't know if you can see, the light posts that have the flashing yellow lights. So this is the Discovery Trail. This is some type of underpass. There's graffiti. Nothing too crazy. Just yet. This goes back to the levee trail. These are somewhat narrow paths, but as long as everybody's not going too fast and being a jerk, should be fine. See, and then this. Okay, so this is the Heritage Trail. I may have got those mixed up earlier. This is the Heritage Trail. So we went down the levee trail to the Discovery Trail. That's the Heritage Trail, which I'll go down some point in the future. And this will reconnect back up with the main path. Bunch of deer down there. Some of them have antlers, some of they're does, not does, bucks. Don't anger people who know they're deer. Like coming that way. Yeah, it was some bucks. This is when the little short piece of this trail that you have to share with vehicles. Which, I mean, honestly, at any point, if you want, you can jump off of the bike-specific path onto the road, although if you're not going to be doing the speed of traffic, probably not the greatest idea. As traffic tends to do, I would say probably at least 35 miles per hour. Put it in high mode. So I'll head back to the Falls of the Ohio State Park. People on bikes. All right, on your left. Oh, sorry. On your left. Get a horn or bell or something for this. I don't know. I think sometimes to get some stuff, it's way too jarring. It almost causes people to go out into your path. Little young deer over here. Supplemental light. Smell some fire pits going. It's always a pretty nice smell. Yeah, because when you're in the Ohio River Valley, so, you know, Kentucky, Indiana, that area, general vicinity, you'll have pretty wild temperature swings. You'll have it go from a high of, you know, 85 and a low of 70 to, in the same week, having a high of 50 with a low of 30. Just depends. And then way off in the distance, not sure how well it shows up on the wide angle GoPro, but the city of Louisville, the downtown area, there's some buildings that are off on the horizon. I'll go up here where the Falls of the Ohio State Park is, and hopefully there'll be a nice view as the sun is setting. And I don't think I've ever, while riding e-bikes or e-scooters or whatever, have never really had any negative experiences with people on the trails. You know, just general common sense. If you see people, slow down. Don't cause a dangerous situation to occur if you don't have to. you know, don't run anybody off the road, that kind of stuff. But on the roads, I've had negative experiences with cars. Where people just want to do 100 miles an hour through every single place they go. And nobody has the patience to roll along. You know, because the speed limit is, you know, it's many side streets, but the speed limit is 25 miles per hour. If I'm rolling along, you know, around 20, and it's a road that'll have speed bumps and stuff, people still go out of their way and almost kill you to get around, so they don't have to go 5 miles per hour less. Got a statue here. Lewis and Clark. I'm not going to ride the bike down because that would be dangerous, and it's a little bit of a cliff, but that's the Falls of the Ohio State Park as it approaches nighttime. I guess I could go a little bit further up ahead, because if I go just a little bit further, you get a nice view of the cityscape, the downtown Louisville. Which I guess I really shouldn't be on the sidewalk, but I just didn't want to get ran over. These brakes are due for replacement sooner than later, and I have the brake pad sitting at home. I was just waiting to eke all the life out of these that I could until they become unsafe. Is heading back towards the Big Four Bridge in Jeffersonville, Indiana. It is funny because depending on how far you go on this trail, you can go from Jeffersonville to Clarksville to New Albany, just because they're all, you know, pretty close and not very big, and all are, you know, stacked right on top of each other. But it is funny that, you know, if you're coming from the Kentucky side, you know, you can cross, you know, 2 states in one trip. And if you're coming from Louisville, Jefferson County, you can cross, you know, Jefferson County, Jeffersonville, Indiana, Clarksville, New Albany. You can go across, you know, multiple counties and states. People doing picnics. Yeah, so there's downtown Louisville. Yeah, so that was going down the Ohio River Greenway and the Levee Trail, and then branching off to the Discovery Trail and going through some of those areas. But that'll be it for this time. Later.